I don't know why you not subscribed to my channel. You need to subscribe to this goddamn channel. I'm just saying. Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me. So, Monique was on the Shay Shay room. I guess she said something a little Shay Shay like, and her son jumps on to say some things about Monique. Okay, so we go check out what her son has to say. Then we go back door what she and daddy has to say. And in between, a couple of opinions from other people. So, let's get started.
But to address the Club Shay Shay interview that she did where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time, and I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Speaking with my mother directly, in my experience, will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with a conversation, and I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. I'm not sure if people are aware of that. But responding this way, I feel as though it allows me to say my piece uninterrupted. To those wondering, well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me, I suppose. But when her daddy had intentionally stated that they have 3 sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the 4th son in a video that has millions of views, that rubbed me the wrong way.
Put up by
My son, my oldest son, Shalon. And this is what I want to say to this. There are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I'll say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that said to me, I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we'll watch this play out. And I do want to address this though, Shalon. When you say her daddy, then that's when mommy gonna say stop playing, because you know this has been Uncle Sid your whole life. Uncle Sid knew you before you knew you. So for you to say her 3 sons, yes, you're absolutely right. He has 3 sons. He can't claim you as his son because he's always been Uncle Sid, and he knows your daddy very well.
and love that brother. And the irony of all of this is not what is said, but what's left off.
Yes.
See, you're leaving off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby about 3 years ago. You're forgetting about how I, from Georgia, am talking you through getting your car after we gave you the half the down payment for it.
But anyway, to inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. But to take it a step further, you also admit, my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do, which would also make one begin to question, all of your past decisions and prior emotional interactions. But to be completely honest and fair, those were things that I was willing to get over. Nobody's perfect. We're all human.
Comedian actress Monique speaks on never being close to her son.
I wasn't interested in being a mother.
In 1990, Monique and her ex-husband, Mark Jackson, welcomed a baby boy named Shalon Jackson. For years, Monique has been very transparent about the fact that she worked incredibly hard to provide a better life for herself and her family. Unfortunately, when Shalon was a young boy, Monique was not interested in being a mother. While speaking on David Banner's podcast, Monique admitted she was more interested in being a star and being famous, and it cost her her relationship with her son. Shannon Sharp asked Monique about the status of her relationship with Shalon, and here's what the comedian had to say.
We're still very much separated. It it's one of those things where you have to pray to the universe and say, let time do the healing.
But my mother showed a clear lack of humility, compassion, and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things. My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well. And anything that she may take true accountability for, it's only at her convenience, in my experience. But if I had to guess, though, her interest in being a mother probably started around the time that she married her daddy and had his children. But that interest, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the excuse me, the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate, I guess you could say. There are now 2 baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still, during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life. In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him holds no weight. There are still women to this day that my mother will give credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my cousin, being one of them. Every time, though, that my mother would state that she was right here whenever I was ready, that ideology still blows my mind today, that a person could openly admit to being an uninterested, not put my best foot forward type of parent, and be so self-centered that they still express to the kid, you have to come to me when you're ready. You got to come to me for us to make this right. Come on, okay. I'm not sure what my mother could possibly think that she has shown me in the past or have for me now that's not money, goodness gracious, that would make me want to come to her or whatever those feelings are supposed to be. A mother is supposed to be the first woman that a boy falls in love with.
This right here touches me a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. I believe his words. Because, if you've been on my channel long enough, my mom left me when I was 2 years old. You get what I'm saying? Then when I found her when I was like 25 or something like that, I asked her a question. You get what I'm saying? And I was hoping she would give me the right answer, but she didn't. And I had to walk off. I said, why you didn't come see me? When you said you was, because she had told me, she said, I'll be back to pick you up Friday. You get me? I'm 2 years old. I remember that like it was clear as day. You get what I'm saying? And I remember waiting for the next couple of weeks for the Friday that she was talking about to come. I waited for that Friday to get here, talk myself into believing that I was wrong, or maybe I didn't hear exactly what she said for those couple of weeks. 2 years old, I'm waiting for her to come back like she said she did. Then when I finally meet up with her and I asked her, I say, why you didn't come get me, come see me? She told me, I didn't know where you was at. And I already told you what I said. In my mind, I'm like, bitch, I was in the same fucking place you dropped me off at. You get what I'm saying? Like the same place you drove me to. You forgot the directions? Those are my feelings. Back to his.
I loved my mother very much, but my mother loved things more than she loved me, and she would validate her love for me by giving me things and would proceed to call me ungrateful or inconsiderate if said things did not have the desired effect. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be her, though, to ask God for what you want, and then he gives you what you need, though, only for you to ignore it and have the audacity to ask God for something else. And I'm glad I don't, I'm glad I didn't do that. And when he told you no, you went to the universe instead. By no means, though, do I want to give off any type of an impression that I am a victim of anything. That's not the case. As you can see, I'm smiling from ear to ear. I'm alive, I'm happy, I'm a dad. I'm healthy, I think. I drink a lot of water. I'm getting over a cold now. I still have my days just like everybody else. And, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my mother. I also learned to make sure that I never lose so much of who I am that I have to validate it through another person. And though I feel as though, in hindsight, I think she did it reluctantly, I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like. You know what I'm saying? It did give me perspective on what hard work and dedication can get you, but I don't want something like that at the cost of giving up something that I created. I don't want it that bad. And speaking of creations, I genuinely, truly, I really did want my mother to have a relationship with my daughter. I even fought through those intrusive thoughts that were, if she wasn't interested in you, what makes you think she's going to be interested in your kid?
Yes.
See, you're leaving off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby about 3 years ago. You're forgetting about how I, from Georgia, am talking you through getting your car after we gave you the half of the down payment for it. And you were 31 years of age, 32 years of age at that point. And I'm negotiating the deal with the dealer for you as you sit there. And you have the vehicle you're driving right now because of your mother. These are the things that you're leaving out when you're expressing what you're expressing in reference to your mother. You're not expressing the relationship that you have with your father, where you spoke ill to him, not to mention spoke ill to your mother, but somehow your mother and father and I all have a loving relationship and communicate back and forth because of the love that we have for you.
But it took my mother no time at all to prove that those intrusive thoughts were correct. But what I can say, good for her, the universe did, bless her with 3 other sons. Bless her with 3 other sons. And God willing, I'm sure that one of them, all 3 of them are adults now. So I'm sure that one of them, God willing, if not all 3 of them, will make her the grandmother that she wants to be. I still look forward, to that moment for her. But overall, when it comes to the boys, though, I am happy that whenever they do hear me talk, sorry, my phone did something weird, but whenever they hear me talk, they don't know what it is. They can't relate to what it is that I'm saying. My experience with my mother is not their experience with our mother. So my prayer for her and them is that they continue to see her the way that they see her now. I do also want to make sure that I say thank you to my mother for giving me life. Without that moment in time, I wouldn't have had my little one. But outside of that moment, there isn't anything that either of us has to offer the other. In my opinion, it's a waste of God's time and the universe's time for praying for something that you were not willing to put forth any effort to obtain. Putting the work into becoming Monique is more important to my mother than being my mother. And I do not believe that it was never about her being there and waiting for me, but it was supposed to be about me being there and waiting for her. My mother's value had reached such a low point in my life that I no longer found it necessary to either want to wait for her or even go to her. But like I said, man, I'm super grateful that she has the opportunity to do it all over again. I'm happy for her. I hope the Cat Williams tour goes well, but the narrative that she prays for us to reconcile is a false narrative. It's not real, and I'd appreciate it if she stopped saying stuff like that.
It's crazy to me how I was going to do a video today about how I can't stand no shitty father. But a shitty mother, that shit gets up under my skin. And one of the first videos I saw today was Monique's son talked about her. Now in the Shay Shay Monique interview, it's a lot of stuff I believe Monique on. But this, I believe her son. As a child who is currently no contact with a parent, one thing that he said that made me believe him is that whenever a parent is wrong or a parent has a child that's doing no contact, they feel like, oh, my child gonna meet me halfway or my child gonna come around. They just feel like they don't have to do no work in regards to mending the relationship. Like, okay, yeah, I'm grown. However, I'm still a child in this situation. So you as the parent, you gotta put on your big boy drawers or your big girl panties and fix it. It's not the child's responsibility to meet you halfway or to figure shit out or to make your relationship better. Bitch, you as the parent, that's what you're supposed to do. One thing I can say about me as a parent, I take responsibility, I take accountability, and I apologize to my children when I make them feel a type of way. I remember once upon a time my kids told me that I was very strict, overprotective, and verbally abusive when they was younger. And people used to tell me that I was strict and I was hard on them when they was young, but I'm like, I'm a single mother with 2 boys. Fuck is you talking about being too strict? I'm raising men and I don't know what I'm doing, so I didn't know it was a such thing as being too hard. I didn't know there was a such thing as being too strict or too overprotective. Like, these are my sons and I'm trying to raise them to be men, but I'm a woman, so I'm just doing the best that I can, and I'm doing what I saw my mother do and my grandmother do, and that's being hard. But when they told me that, it kind of broke me and it hurt my feelings. But I took accountability and I apologized to both of my children individually for making them feel that way. And sometimes that's all a child needs. That's all a child needs to mend that broken fence, to mend that broken bridge, is just for the mom or the dad or the guardian, whatever type of parent you are, is to accept accountability and apologize. And then maybe y'all can move forward. It don't mean that y'all gotta, like, things go back to the way they were, or you guys are together every day, buddy. It's just, that's a step forward in the right direction for what you did as a parent to make your child feel the type of way. Because kids don't feel no type of way for no reason. I'm not no contact with my parent for no reason. You did something to me, motherfucker. You did it. And now I'm supposed to fix it. I'm supposed to meet you halfway for some shit that I didn't do, bitch. No, that's not the way the world works. That's not the way the world, that's not how the cookie crumbles, baby. You have to put in that footwork as a parent. You have to take accountability as a parent, because ain't no child asked to be here. No individual on this world asked to be here. You laid down, you busted open, unprotected. You went through the pregnancy 9 months. You still had an option to give away the child after you had the baby, because, you know, adoption is an option, but you chose to have that child, and these are decisions that you made. So do what you're supposed to do as a parent and accept what comes with that. And I ain't judging nobody, because none of us are perfect, and this parenting shit don't come with no handbook. We all out here doing the best that we can. But I don't trust bitches who kids don't fuck with you, because your kids don't fuck with you. The motherfuckers that you gave birth to and you took care of don't fuck with you. That's weird to me. That's a red flag. Now, given you do have some motherfuckers who just out here wild, disrespectful, you can't help them. I get it. But I don't know.